Well, with a break in the action, we're pleased to be joined by Kyle Masters here as our coverage of Iowa Heartlanders hockey continues. And Kyle, first time we're getting a chance to speak with you. You've been up and down a few times between here and with the Iowa Wild. So how do you feel your rookie season has gone?
It's gone well. I think just kind of what you mentioned, there's been lots of up and down. So I think that's kind of helped me use it as a learning opportunity both here in Coralville and up in Des Moines.
In terms of your rookie season, different vibes than playing in the Western Hockey League. Normally in the Western Hockey League, unless you're traded, you're just with that one team. But going from organization to organization, how's that been for you as an adjustment?
It's been good. I got traded once in juniors, so I kind of got my feet wet in that sense. It's been great down here. The guys have been very welcoming, which makes the adjustment very easy.
In terms of, let's talk before we get into a little bit more about this season. Your Western Hockey League career, had a great career up in the WHL. Obviously, everyone around your age group was affected by COVID and some of the things there, but the Western Hockey League ended up playing when some of the other leagues were taking off. So tell us a little bit about how your years in the WHL went.
It was good. I had 3 or 4 great years in Red Deer. It was close to home, so I was a young kid then, so it was nice to be a little bit of a drive away from home. And then once I got a little bit older, I got traded to Kamloops. It was a great organization there, first class all around.
Yeah, definitely right in the mountains there as well. You're from Edmonton originally, still so young, not turning 21 until April. So the fact that you're the youngest guy in the room, how does that feel after being one of the oldest guys in the room the last few years in juniors?
Yeah, like I kind of touched on earlier, the guys in that locker room have been great. When you have guys welcoming you left, right, and center, it makes the adjustment easy.
In terms of the defensive core that's welcomed you with open arms, there's guys, Kevin McKernan's been around 6-7 years, a lot of rookies, but guys that might be a few years older than you. So who have you relied on for advice in terms of the defensemen in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it's a full group effort. I think pro is obviously a little bit different than junior, no matter what league you're in. So kind of just seeing what they're doing when I'm not playing, or kind of reading what they're doing, what reads they're making, and kind of bouncing ideas off of them have been awesome.
In terms of how Minnesota's helped nurture your development, how do you feel that support, whether you're in the ECHL or the AHL, from up top, what Minnesota provides for you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, my time up in Des Moines with the coaching staff there was great, getting my feet wet there. And then down here with a little bit more opportunities, playing more, I think it's allowed me to kind of grow my game defensively and offensively.
Yeah, speaking of growing your game defensively, obviously your skating ability is excellent, which Derek Damon has touched on a lot when we've talked with him, and you can provide a lot from the offensive side. But in terms of now that you're in pro, how have you learned to balance it out a little bit with the defensive responsibility as well, when you know you can also provide a lot of pop offensively?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a risk versus reward factor. So in juniors, you kind of get away with a little bit more. So I think if pros playing against men, you have to weigh that a little bit more heavily. Maybe the chances don't come too often just because of how you have to play defensively, but I think it just means you have to bear down that much more when the opportunities do come. It's
really easy for someone sitting up in a press box or watching on TV to say, oh, maybe that was a little bit risky, but in terms of how you're calculating it on the ice, when let's say you're rushing up the ice and you're deciding, I want to join the rush or I want to carry the puck in, or how do you make those calculations to try to see the full picture of the ice when it's happening so quickly?
Yeah, I think part of it's just instinct. A lot of us have been playing for years and years and years, so you kind of get the gist of it no matter what league you're in. But for me personally, you just try and find the empty ice wherever that may be. So you try and find it, whether you got to go around a guy or maybe you try and pop the puck into open space. So I think that's something I use to my advantage.
Quarterbacking a power play, something you've been doing with essentially the power play one unit. How have you adjusted to quarterbacking a professional power play, and what are some of the keys you look for when you're out there with that?
Yeah, I think down here I've tried to adopt more of a shooting mindset, playing with a skill player like Casey Dornbach and Louis Boudon on the flanks. I think it's been very easy for me personally to just kind of lay the puck into them and really just let them do the work.
Kyle, appreciate a few minutes. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, our coverage of Iowa Heartlanders hockey rolls on here on the Iowa Heartlanders Broadcast Network.